We are getting ready to install our chimney pipe because the roof is on. Obviously we don't have a stove yet, but we need to get the chimney run in order for the metal roof to continue to be installed. We made some backer blocks for our chimney support, so these will sit in the web of the I-joist, and then I'm gonna put some joist hangers on here so that we can frame out the box for the ceiling support.
Done. First block in. It took a lot of fine tuning. So we're using this little block to mock up, and we're drawing a line on the hanger where it needs to be. Ow.
Tight space.
Tight space. Now we're lined up on the line that we drew. There it is.
Support box is all framed up and starting to get dark, so I'll have to call it a day.
We're cutting out the opening for the box in our joists. This is a sheet of drywall. This is fireproofing. There we go. Just using a drywall square to mark where the screws are. Here we go. Oh yeah.
Next piece that goes in is the dripless smoke pipe adapter, and that just slides. Just like that.
We got our first piece of triple wall put on to the dripless adapter.
It was a pain to put in there.
It was really a pain. We had to take through the ceiling piece out and
Twist it.
adjust it.
So this is pretty level. We leveled our box. It's not perfect, but it should be good enough. Pipes twist lock together, and then there's a finishing band.
This is why we're working inside today.
It's snowing.
Still on the lines.
It's 3 o'clock and it's getting dark. So this box we did 12 1/4 by 12 1/4. This is a 6-inch pipe. It needs 2 inches of clearance all around, and the extra 1/4 inch kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you didn't nail everything. completely straight. So you have an 1/8 inch on each side to kind of play with. We got our attic insulation shield on. We put a band up there to keep the stovepipe stable. We need to put another one here, which we will do when we build the chase. We cut our hole for the stovepipe the other day and ran that up through the roof, and Taylor and the roofer put the brace on and the cap, so this chimney pipe is good to go. We use Selkirk pipes for our chimney, and these are Class A pipes. But we had a lot of trouble trying to get these. They twist lock together, and they just would not lock. They kept spinning. I called Selkirk, told them about it. They never heard of that happening. We went to the lumberyard where we bought these. They had never heard of that happening. We showed them, and they were just baffled. So not quite sure what's up with that. I don't know what part of the pipe wasn't working, if it was the male or the female end. But we did end up getting some pipes that worked. Just very strange. We got our wood stove the other day. Our neighbor brought it up with his tractor, and then we rolled it in with these pieces of conduit. So we just got to position it perfectly under this pipe, which we will be doing shortly. And then we'll fire it up, but obviously we want to get doors and windows in first, so. But it's a beauty, and we have the warming oven. We got to put that on, but that's it. The Kitchen Queen 550. There's the stovepipe. It was a real pain in the butt. Required both of our hands, so we didn't get any filming in. But yesterday when we were trying to attach it, we found out the pipe was like 1 inch too short. So that was fun. So we ended up cutting like a 6-inch piece. And then this goes up over the dripless adapter.
Giving the stove its first bath. Should be its last.
Yeah.
They kind of just, they tell you to wash off the oil they put on it at the factory. And then after that, it's a cast iron top, so it should season.
Hopefully.
Turn a nice smooth black. So we got our birch bark here, great fire starter. And then we have some black cherry kindling, grown on the property, harvested and split by me.
Shut the fire door as soon as possible after combustion. Once it's, oh yeah, so cool. starting to smoke. Pretty stinky too. But gotta let it burn off. You're supposed to open the oven bypass control and kind of let the oven burn off a little bit. So that's creating a bit of smoke. But yep, we're just gonna let this burn for, it'll probably burn for a while. We've been burning for about a month now with the stove, and it has been great. It keeps the place very warm. We have been getting temperatures into the 80s on some days, especially when we're making bread. And at night, it generally stays between 60 and 70. We've got some wood in the oven, kiln drying, because we don't have enough seasoned wood for this year. It's not ideal. It's wood that was cut last year, but freshly split. Seems to be working so far, though. Definitely dries it out. And the oven doesn't even have to be on. This is normally around like 200, 300 degrees with just the stove running and the oven bypass is closed. So it's kind of like a nice passive way to dry stuff. The warming oven has been nice because it's been so cold. All our stuff in the cooler outside is frozen like solid, so we just put it in here and let it thaw out. Some people call these warming ovens the Amish microwave, which, I don't know, it's kind of similar. We put our water reservoir on the back. This holds 16 gallons, I think almost 17 gallons. And we've been using this water for washing dishes, showering. We refill it probably every 3 days. But it doesn't empty completely. We only use half of it and then refill it because it's a lot of buckets to carry inside to fill up 17 gallons. It's also some nice thermal mass. Well, last week it was down to -8 outside, and in here it was in the mid-60s, just with a fire going overnight. And I think we fed it once that whole night. We were very happy with the Kitchen Queen 550. It's definitely good for us. They do make bigger stoves if you have a bigger family or you like cooking a lot more, but yeah, this has been great for us so far. So
Yeah, one thing I'd say though is the glass front. Definitely consider how much heat's going to come out of that if you're looking at getting one of these, because if you're standing in front of this cooking, it gets incredibly hot. Like, we usually have to move off to the side here or step over to the cooler side of the stove.
yeah.
They do make these without the glass, but we wanted to be able to see the fire and know like when to feed it and stuff like that. So far, we couldn't be happier.